The weapons were supposed to cross a border. Instead, they became the center of a political blame game. Now, Donald Trump says America's Kurdish partners betrayed a covert plan aimed at weakening Iran from within, and he wants everyone to know he warned it would happen. The operation may be over, but the fallout is only beginning, and Trump has made one thing clear: he has not forgotten who he holds responsible. For months, the plan was simple enough on paper. Get weapons to Kurdish forces near Iran's western border, have them passed on to Iranian protesters, and let an insurgency do what bombs alone could not. Regime change from within. It did not work, and on June 11th, Donald Trump made clear exactly who he blames. Speaking to Fox News, Trump accused Kurdish forces of keeping the weapons Washington had sent them. Weapons that were meant to reach Iranian protesters during the nationwide January uprisings that preceded the war, and never using them for their intended purpose.
The Kurds let us down. I disagreed with the decision. I was saying no, I don't believe they'll deliver. I think they kept them for themselves. I think it's a disgrace, but I'll remember that, Kurds.
What makes the accusation particularly striking is that Trump says he argued against the plan from the beginning, convinced the Kurds would not follow through. He was overruled. The operation went ahead. And now, having distanced himself from a failed strategy, he is pointing the finger outward. Kurdish political forces have rejected the accusation entirely. Both ruling parties of the Kurdistan Regional Government, the KDP and the PUK, deny receiving any weapons. Iranian Kurdish opposition groups have said the same. Critics have also noted that Trump has never specified which Kurdish group was allegedly involved, a vagueness that has stirred tensions across Kurdish political factions and drawn accusations of recklessness. This is not the first time Trump has aired the grievance. He made similar remarks in early April, returned to them last month, and came back again on June 11th, each time with harder language. The repeated accusations, unverified and unspecific, have landed heavily on a community that has long regarded Washington as one of its most reliable partners in the region. The regime change plan, it now appears, has been quietly buried. The weapons that were supposed to drive it are, in Trump's telling, sitting somewhere with the Kurds. Whether that is true remains unconfirmed. Trump has made clear, however, that he will not be forgetting it anytime soon.
Recovering from a gunshot wound in a hospital bed in Qamishli, northeastern Syria, Kurdish fighter Mitan Shoresh sums up his view of the West in a single word: betrayal. According to The Telegraph, Shoresh is among the thousands of Kurdish combatants who once formed the backbone of the US and UK-backed campaign against Islamic State, a partnership that dismantled the group's self-declared caliphate and drove its fighters from their strongholds. Today, as Syrian government forces advance and Kurdish units retreat into shrinking territory near the Turkish border, that alliance has all but vanished. Speaking from his hospital bed this week, Shoresh accused Western powers of abandoning the very fighters they once praised.
The coalition forces have done nothing for us. We worked together for so many years against Islamic State, but they haven't offered us any support. I say it openly, they betrayed us.
Another Kurdish activist, Sidam Mohammed, is now on hunger strike, protesting what he describes as worsening conditions and international silence. Speaking this week, he framed the issue as a moral debt left unpaid.
We aren't begging the world to give us our rights. We're owed a debt, and we're collecting it. Our blood flowed, now pay us the price of our blood. The US-led coalition took on the responsibility to become our guarantors. Under the coalition, our comrades were martyred. Who will pay what's owed? For as long the coalition owes this debt, they shouldn't stay silent.
The Kurdish sense of abandonment stands in stark contrast to the early years of the fight against Islamic State. After a wave of devastating terror attacks in the early 2010s, Washington selected Kurdish-led forces as its primary ground partner in Syria. In places like Kobani, US helicopters delivered weapons, equipment and aid, helping turn the tide against IS and raising hopes among Kurds long persecuted under Ba'athist rule. Kurdish forces went on to secure large parts of northern and eastern Syria, guarding detention camps holding thousands of captured IS fighters and preventing the group's resurgence. Despite its apparent support for Mr. Sharaa, the US is now scrambling to evacuate up to 7,000 IS militants from his clutches, with flights shuttling back and forth to Iraq. After that, Washington is considering a complete withdrawal of the remaining 1,000 troops stationed in Syria after a 12-year campaign.
We are not receiving any support from the US. A few public statements won't stop the genocide against us. They are asking us to surrender, so we don't see any support.
Now, as Syria's war enters another brutal phase, Kurdish units are rapidly retreating, their territory reduced to a narrow strip of land. The Western allies who once claimed victory alongside them are largely absent, leaving behind fighters who say they were used, praised, and ultimately left alone in the desert they helped secure.